and welcome to a review of Wolfenstein: The Old Blood with me, Papa Ted. This is a standalone DLC game that is a prequel to The New Order that came out last year, Wolfenstein New Order, if you played that, which I thought was a fantastic shooter and a return to sort of the good old days of the shooter like Quake and Wolfenstein and Doom and things like that. It was just balls out, violent, ridiculous, but also very good gameplay, satisfying gameplay, and not a bad story and characterization as well, actually, in the New Order. So this is basically, it's Bethesda and Machine Games again. It's the same engine as before, and basically this is Blazkowicz when he's storming Castle Wolfenstein to find out what's going on and taking out lots of Nazis. The gameplay is almost identical to what it was before. You can either basically take two approaches. You can go gun-ho, which is fantastic fun, which you can see here, dual wielding, big guns, great recoil, satisfying impact of bullets, just really great fun. Or you can go stealth, which you'll see a little bit of in this video as well. This was basically an amalgamation of two DLCs. I think they planned to release two DLCs for the New Order, but decided to put them both together and release them as one standalone game that was separate from the New Order. This game, you don't need the New Order to play it. You can go out. The digital version is out now, and I think the physical copy is out this week, and it's at a reduced budget price as well, £15, which is really great. So if you liked the New Order, which I thought was my biggest surprise of 2014, I absolutely loved that game. I didn't think I was going to. I bought it on a whim because I think there was a deal on the PC version last year, and I absolutely loved it. So this one was a no-brainer. I just bought it the day it came out, $14.99, and so far it's been great. It's the same great gameplay. Both aspects of the game, the stealth and the action, are done really well. The stealth is satisfying, and this time you're given two pipes, or a pipe that you can break into two. You can use that as a melee weapon, but it also comes in helpful for other reasons as well. You can use it to prise open doors, hold up gates, do stealth kills, and even climb walls, kind of like ice picks as well, which is great fun. So it's versatile, and it just makes the game a bit different than just shooting. There's a wee bit more thinking involved. The graphics are pretty much identical to the first game, so if you thought they were okay, it's sort of a different take on the Nazi war machine, a slightly steampunk vibe to it, very violent and very gritty, but it's good and it's atmospheric as well. Actually, this part of the game here where I was in the prison, I don't know why, but the style of it, there's some drones and things like that, kind of reminded me of some aspects of Half-Life 2, kind of like a run-down world but futuristic at the same time, which is not a bad thing. Any game that reminds you a little bit of Half-Life 2 is not a bad thing. So far I've really enjoyed it. I've played a few hours of it. It doesn't start as strongly as the New Order, the previous game. That had one of the best opening levels and sequences for an action shooter game. This is a wee bit more slow to start, and you're escaping from a prison, you get caught, you're escaping from a prison, but from what I've played so far, it's just building up, and like the first one did, I'm sure the characters are going to come into it more, and that was one of the strongest things about the New Order was the actual characters were likeable, and Blazkowicz is a very likeable protagonist. He's tough, he's nails, he's absolutely, he's built like an absolute unit, but he's smart as well, and that means that there's just going to be some amazing sequences in this game. that are just going to knock your socks off. So yeah, this is quite a quick review, but it's been great so far. Absolutely brilliant game so far. I would say if there's anything that's not quite brilliant about it is that, you know, you're not going to get anything new here. If you're expecting something different from the New Order, you know, it's going to be very similar in almost every aspect, just different levels, and a slightly different story as well, as it's a prequel. One thing that is missing as well, which I did like in the first one, or it's missing at the moment anyway, is the leveling up system. The New Order had a great system where if you do something more, you get better at it and you get abilities in it. So if you do more stealth, you are then able to use like dual wielding, or you're able to throw knives, things like that. Whereas I think they've completely done away with it in this game, which is disappointing. I mean, I've not completed it, so I don't know for sure. It maybe comes in at some stage, but that would be disappointing if that wasn't in it, because I really like that aspect, and it just makes this game feel a little bit more sort of dumbed down in that respect. But, you know, still great fun if you're looking for a good single player campaign shooter, which seems to be very hard to come by these days. You know, your Battlefields and your Call of Duties, their campaigns are always a bit rubbish, so this is really calling back to the old days of first person shooters. And speaking of old day shooters, if you found any Easter eggs in the first one, then you'll be pleased to know that this one also has quite a few that hark back to the old days of those shooters, and they're just a great addition if you can find them, that is. So Wolfenstein Old Blood, very good game. If you enjoyed the first one, I recommend it entirely, and it's at a budget price as well, so can't really complain. So thanks very much for watching, hope you enjoyed the review, and we'll see you in the next one.